Everybody's Chris from Preparedmind101, and today what we're going to do is continue on from the bonus video that I did last week when I was looking at that shovel. You know, that shovel was a surprise. I didn't know it was coming. And I saw a couple comments like people didn't understand that. I get things from this company that get returned to Amazon. Like someone returns it, it can't be resold because it's been returned. It would cost too much to ship it back to China. So they're like, you know, if you want, we'll send it to you if it's something you want to do a video on, great. If not, you know, it gets donated to stuff like Boy Scouts and whatnot. But I got this shovel out and I was like, you know what, this thing is actually pretty freaking interesting. And I started messing around with it, and people said, yeah, let's take a closer look at that, do another video. So I forget the exact name of it, but this is the KingCamp shovel that I'm talking about here. And when I got it out and started doing that video, I was like, oh, you know, a couple different things. But this thing changes so many different ways. We actually had to take this thing out here and, you know, look at it some more. So that's what we're going to do now. So if you're in need of a crazy shovel that does all sorts of stuff, don't go away. Too bad the camera wasn't rolling just then. Catch all those great little words. So this does have a cutting edge on it. Ask me how I know. It's not bleeding really. It was more of like one of those electric shock paper cuts where you get a lot of, you know, mother words and other words that go along with it and jumping up and down. I hate the electric shock paper cuts. So yes, apparently this is a cutting edge. I can definitely feel it now. It's like, that's a cutting edge. So this shovel, and this is something I didn't even notice when we did the video before. This shovel has a cutting edge on this side and then a serrated cutting edge. That's not a saw. That is like very close to the Spyderco serrations. At least to my eye it is. So the shovel has two cutting edges on it. And then you've got the, you know, it's not sharpened up here where you're doing the digging. So we're going to try a couple things with this. Now let's talk about, hold on, let me look it up. I got to look it up on my phone real quick. I got a little distracted when I started slicing myself. Thing right here, and I feel like this is something that could be like a make or break thing for a lot of people. It's a little weighty. So before I came out here, I threw it on my postal shipping scale, and with the cover on it, it weighed out at 2 pounds 14 ounces. So that is, yes, that's pretty heavy. The original Jess X, everyone's, you know, a lot of people said was heavy. Without the sheath, that was right at about 1.5 pounds. So this is over 2 pounds. But could that end up being a good thing? What I'm unsure about is, should I put some sort of, like, I would think maybe a heavier type lubrication grease, you know, like white lithium or something like that, because this has a lot of threads on it. Not only just the parts that come out, but there's threads within threads, because once you get parts out, then you've got another collar threading the other way to lock it down. So I wonder, with heavy use, are they all going to become so loose that we need some sort of heavier grease in there to not only to keep the threads good, but also to keep them from coming undone too much. So I'm going to test that a little bit here by using this edge that just cut my thumb to chop a little bit. So let's just say we wanted to chop up some kindling. See how this works. Well, like, because it's heavy, yeah, this comes down with a vengeance. Like Will's favorite line in the whole world, let the tool do the work. Yeah, this is definitely one of those let the tool do the work moments. So without basically even trying. Now that's the issue that I was looking for. How long was it going to go before the threads kind of loosened up? And is it really meant for that? I don't know, but since we do this task with other shovels, I wanted to see. But it chops like a beast, I can tell you that. So I mean, you see, that actually surprises me a lot. But in doing this action, it does loosen everything else up too, so we have to take that into consideration. Okay, so this serrated edge, what can I test this on? Just rake this edge across some wood here. Like I said, it's not a saw, but yeah, it definitely, yikes. I mean, that is like, anything I can cut with this? No, not really. But, you know, just take my word for it that it is very close to how I remember spider coast serrations being, and it is sharp, very sharp. Both of these sides are sharp. So obviously you could dig just like this, but to make it a little bit easier, you can also extend the handle. So I might go ahead and just speed this up a little bit. So once this is out, now you got to find that thread on the inside. And in this case, yes, you're going to now thread it reverse. Feels like. And it's got some knurling there to help you tighten that down. And then I've got this one back here, which is loosened up a bit. But this is the part that has the crazy knife that I did not discover the first time. So this knife right here looks like one of those crazy does everything kitchen knives. You know, it's got the bottle opener, and it's got the blade, and it's got the fork for flipping your steaks or whatnot. I can tell you, it's not super sharp, but it is digging in a little bit. I think with just a minimal amount of effort, because I'm sure this right here is nothing that we're going to get excited about. This is like, hey, you got it, you know, you didn't have it before. But I'm sure this is nothing more than like probably 440A or something. It's not going to take any heavy abuse, but simple things, yeah, sure. And it feels like that edge would go on pretty easily with a ceramic rod, but this is clearly a saw. So let's try that out. And then we'll get back to the extended shovel part. All right, let's give this a good, solid, reasonable test. See how this, so I get this braced while I'm in the camera shot. I mean, it does a nice little notch there. I mean, it's just going to take the place of a Baco? Not at all. But could you use it to make some simple, I don't know if we can see that good enough. I can't turn this whole thing. To make some notches for maybe lashings or something like that? Yeah, of course you could. So, I mean, it's not totally worthless. It's not something I'm going to worry too much about using. In fact, if you want to just do away with this altogether, you could snap that off for weight reduction, put a little super glue, glue that in there. No, you can't do that. Take that back. I think you need to be able to do that. Oh yeah, and then you've got the hollow handle survival knife kit in here. Things like just basically, it's like a transformer. So extended, got a lot more usable reach here. Let's just see. Pissed off because I'm running out of battery quick. Like, way across the way where I'm at, they're like mowing or sawing something, or I don't know. But because I've got this extra reach here, more than like a usual E-tool, I could actually get my foot down here while I'm still controlling the handle. I think the only real concern that I have is having so many threads in this thing, and what are some good ways to control those threads. Possibly, if you don't have any interest in doing all these different things with it, you could seal off some of those extra threads, like if you're not going to turn it into a pick or something like that. Yeah, but this is a big solid piece of metal. You know, when I did some heavy chopping with that little Schrade one, they start falling apart quickly. So, yeah. The only issue so far is just so many threads. But beyond that, maybe there's a way. Maybe there's a way to fix that. But it's definitely solid. Now, I didn't understand this the first time when I pulled it out of the box, but if we take off this little glass breaker-y thing, and then I'm going to undo this. We're going to undo that. Then we're going to put this one in here. So that's nice and tight. And then we're going to take that collar and put it back. Since it doesn't have anything to grab onto, we're just going to rotate it back. And then we can take our little SWAT spike or whatever this thing is. Put that in here. Now we have this. But again, this is the only downfall to this thing. There's so many threads. It's like I want to like this, but when you start doing the heavy use stuff, chopping and whatnot, it starts coming loose at a bunch of different points. But man, it is definitely solid. No doubt about that. I'm hitting some heavy stuff in there. It ain't hurting this, it's just it's got potential, but it has issues too. I'm quickly losing battery, but I think I've found the key thing that I needed to see in this test. I sensed it was there. It was kind of like right under my nose. It's built very well. This is a very sturdy, very strong, solid piece of metal, and some of the things that you wouldn't normally think of doing or shouldn't be like a first thought, like chopping the kindling with other shovels, which they can do them too, but this thing just, it has that weight and that edge. It chops like a beast. It's very solid. Beat on some trees. I cut all that stuff down. You know, just trying to see, is this flimsy? Is it gonna break? Is it gonna bend? Is there any kind of welds here it's gonna fail? The only flaw, I won't say it's a flaw, but it's the only major consideration that you have to be okay with. And help me out here. What are the quick fixes that you see for this? So my brain's not working really good today. The only thing is, in order to get all that versatility, there's a lot of threads. Like a lot of threads. There's a lot of screwing on and off. And in doing the heavy work, those threads get loose. So how do you keep it pretty much secure, whereas you're not like Loctiting it because you need it to go on and off? And the other big thing is the weight. So you got to really want and need the functionality that this tool offers for that extra weight that it costs. You know, because I mean, 2 pounds, 15 ounces, I mean, that's not particularly light. But did it work good? Yeah. I really like the extra length with this. That was huge because I'm like, oh, I can actually hold on to the handle and push down with my foot like a real shovel, where that's something that I just can't normally do with a small shovel. I mean, you can, but you're all bent over and stuff. It's a lot easier with this. So I'm not saying yay or nay on this because it's got pros and it's got cons. I think it really comes up to you. Do I think this is solid? Yeah, it's definitely solid. I mean, even if you decided to shrink down, how much time we got there? Oh, we're about done. All right, guys, link is going to be in the description box below. Chris from Preparedmind101. Thanks for watching. Be sure to click like, share, and subscribe. We'll talk some more down in the comments section, okay? Be back with another video here soon, so see you then.